So how can we implement the read and update part of our CRUD method set and behaviors we want to have for the author class? How can we get to the instance variables we have defined for the author class? In Ruby, we have to bring in methods so that we can read and update instance variables. But Ruby makes it a little easier for us by giving us a special method we can call named AtterAccessor, which defines behind the scenes setter and getter methods for the instance variables we list here as symbols. So if we use the AtterAccessor method in our class definition, then we can access instance variables much like we're used to it from Java. So in this example, I'm defining B as a new author, and then I use b.name to assign the new value Bilbo for the name attribute. And similarly here, I use puts with b.name as the parameter to read the current value of the name attribute. So behind the scenes, AtterAccessor defines these setter and getter methods so that you have an easier time working with attributes in Ruby classes. So how can we add the AtterAccessor call to our existing class author we have defined earlier in our IRB session? And here a feature of Ruby comes in handy. We can reopen the class that we have already defined. So I can define class author, and now I have reopened the class, and I can add the AtterAccessor call with name and location as keywords, and then close the class again, and this will have updated the existing definition of the author class, which I've started up here, but now has added the setter and getter methods for name and location. So if we now try again to access the attribute location for the instance stored in Bilbo, we should be much more lucky, and in fact we are, and we get back the Shire. So what you've seen here is two things. First of all, in fact, AtterAccessor did its job. It created the getter and setter methods for name and location as attributes, and you have seen that I have reopened a class definition that I started up here and have added behaviors to the existing class. So let's see if I can also assign something to the location, and let's send Bilbo to Mordor as well. And so now if we look at Bilbo, again we see that he is really indeed now in Mordor.